Hi everyone, so this demo is going to cover how Google hacking works with different operators. You could also use the Google Advanced Search page to find your information if you're in a hurry, but this is not something that we'll be covering in this video. So let's start with a simple operator, the plus sign. The plus sign is going to force Google to search for a common word. When Google receives a basic search request that contains a very common word, the word will frequently be removed from the query. So let's try something. The confidential password. Having the plus in front of the word the ensures that the will be included in this search query. Now, what does a minus sign do? A minus sign is going to exclude a word from a search query. So putting it in front of the word confidential will exclude that word. So we'll just see results for password. Double quotation marks. Double quotation marks are pretty much just, they search for an exact phrase. We could look at webcams with this. And just see a bunch of webcam results. So someone's house, and their garage, their backyard. We could do a period. So a period is going to serve as a single character wildcard. So if we were to do something, it's kind of like a fill in the blank. So we could do and this is going to return a lot of things for web application security. Yeah, it's just going to fill in the blank, so you could kind of replace that with a W. And so a asterisk is kind of going to do the same thing. It's going to represent a word though. It's going to tell Google to fill in the blank for the word. So we could do web asterisk security. And as expected, it's going to return things like web application security. So maybe web app security. All right. And then we could also do mixed searches, which could involve phrases and individual terms. We could do a phrase with a word and find a bunch of different things. So confidential, not for distribution. Yeah, so it's the search will only return results that include the phrase not for distribution with the term confidential. Okay, so we'll move on to some of our advanced operators. We'll start with cite. And so cite is essentially going to limit our search to a single site. This is one of two that we will cover today that requires an additional search argument. So we have our search operator. We need our domain. Let's do, and then we will need our search term. Let's do security. So scrolling down, you can see it only pulled up sites that are psychologytoday.com. So it's limiting our search to only that site with our search term, which is security. Now we could also do it with an exact phrase. So let's try that. We could do site.edu with a phrase. Okay, so this would search for websites on .edu domains that contain the phrase phone number. Okay, so change your phone number .edu. Yeah, so finding things about changing your phone number, maybe updating login information. Next, we are going to move on to our next operator, which is going to be file type. This is the other operator we're covering today that requires another argument. So the file type operator searches documents of a specific type of file. So we could do something like file type txt with our argument of password. So this is going to limit the search password to a specific type of file, which is in this case txt. Let's look at one. Okay, a password policy. Let's do something else. Let's combine site. let's do site usa.gov with a file type of PDF. Okay, so this uses both site and file type. It's basically going to give every publicly available PDF we can find for USA Gov. Let's try one more. Let's do file type env, and let's do db password. So we're looking for database passwords. Let's look at the first one. Let's see. Okay, DB password, top secret. So we could search for, yeah, obviously env files with an exact phrase DB password, and we found a bunch of database passwords, which of course we don't actually want to use any of them. Alright, so we'll move on to a more simple operator. We're going to link. The link operator is going to search for pages that link to the requested URL. So we could do link usa.gov. Okay, so scrolling through, you'll notice this is displaying web pages that link to usa.gov's main page. This isn't going to find anything that is more specific, so like usagov/taxes or anything like that. Okay, next, let's do cache. So cache is basically going to show a cache version of any website. We could do our example again. You notice top. This is Google's cache. It is a snapshot of the page as it appeared. So this is just going to display the version as it was shown when Google crawled it. So pretty simple. Now let's move on to entitle. So entitle is going to find sites containing the search term in the title of a page. We could look for entitle admin. And this is only going to display pages that contain the word admin in the title. You can see things that say sign into your admin console, admin page. Let's try something else. Let's do site. How about target.com and entitle of login. Let's see what we get. Oops, I spelled target wrong. Ooh. Oh, we got it finally. Okay. This is only going to display pages that contain the word login in the title that are restricted to the domain of target. And our last operator for the day is in URL. So this is going to find sites containing the search term in the URL of the page. Let's start with a basic example. Let's do password. So this is only going to display pages with the word password inside the web address. Okay, so we can see password right there. And we can obviously see password. They're all going to have password. Let's try site and in URL together. We'll use, how about Starbucks as our site? In URL, oops. In URL of, how about admin? So let's click on the first thing. It's basically, okay, what is this? A admin, create new user. This is basically going to look for the keyword admin in the URL for the site Starbucks. So let's do another search. Let's use, how about in URL and in title? Let's do admin again, but let's do our title as login. This could reveal admin login pages. Yep, as expected. So it is indeed revealing admin login pages. As we saw, it looks like it's going to look for the keyword admin in the URL, and then it's going to look for pages that contain the word login in the title. We could also explore public FTP servers, so we'll search that with index as our title. FTP. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so this could be a government server that has their FTP space open. We could do a more specific search, like in URL admin. It's going to look for file type of ASP and another in URL of, let's say, user list. So, oops. Okay, so this should reveal specific examples of an administrator's user list function in an ASP page. Okay, and we will do one last one. Let's do, well, we can find emails quite easily, so let's look for some Excel files. How about XLS in URL? Let's do email.xls. Okay, let's see what we find. Let's click on the first one. It's going to be in Excel. Okay, so we've obviously found an Excel file that contains important things, names, addresses, phone numbers, just a lot of information. Okay, so I'm not going to do it now, but you could also search for yourself. You could search for people you know. There's a lot of different things you can do with Google hacking operators. So that's going to wrap up our demo video covering how Google hacking works with different operators. I hope you enjoyed this video.